Hello and welcome back to Cowboys Insiders and Cowboys Nation. And a huge welcome to every single one of you joining us today to Cowboys Insiders. No matter where you are watching from around the world, we truly appreciate you for being a part of the fastest growing Dallas Cowboy community on this platform. If you love a breaking Dallas Cowboy news, NFL rumors, a roster update and trade discussions, a free agencies move, NFL draft coverage, game analysis, and everything happening around American team, then you're absolutely on the right place here. The energy around the Dallas Cowboy line now is unbelievable, and today we have got some major updates to talk about involving the roster, off-season moves, coaching decisions, salary cap situation, rising star, veteran leaders, and what would be one of the most important seasons in recent Cowboy history. Expectations are sky high in the Dallas, and fans everywhere are waiting to see if this season can finally make a serious Super Bowl run. So before we jump into today a huge Dallas Cowboy news, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also make sure you turn on notifications and join the Cowboys Inside family so you never miss any breaking updates surrounding a Dak Prescott, a CeeDee Lamb, a Micah Parsons, a George Pickens, and the entire Cowboys organization. We post the latest Dallas Cowboy content every single day, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next to the Dallas Cowboy. The Dallas Cowboy are entering the 2026 NFL season with a massive expectation surrounding the franchise, and the organization is clearly showing the signs that it wants to make another serious Super Bowl run this year. After several seasons of falling short into playoff, owner of the Dallas Cowboys Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office have been extremely aggressive during the offseason, making a roster adjustment, restructuring a contract, and also improving a depth on both sides of the ball, and also trying to build championship caliber team that can compete with the best teams in the NFL. One of the biggest storylines around the Cowboys right now is a pressure surrounding a franchise quarterback, Dak Prescott. So the veteran quarterback remains the leader of the offense and one of the most important players in the entire organization. Dallas recently made financial moves involving a Prescott contract structure in order to create additional salary cap flexibility, allowing the front office to continue adding a talent around him. The Cowboys understand that the windows to compete for the championship with a Prescott under a center will not stay open forever, and the organization appears determined to maximize every opportunity during this current era. Dak Prescott is expected to lead an offense that could become one of the most explosive units in the NFL in this season of 2026. And the Dallas already possesses a net offensive firepower, but the addition and development of a new offensive weapon has created even more excitement among the Cowboys. A wide receiver CeeDee Lamb remains the centerpiece of the passing attack and continues to establish himself as one of the top receivers in the football, which is NFL. His alert running ability, separation speed, yards after catch production, and the red zone efficiency make him one of the most dangerous offensive players in the NFL. And also another major talking point surrounding the Cowboys' offense is a wide receiver George Pickens. The talented receiver has generated enormous attention throughout off-season because of his big play ability and physical style of the play. Reports indicate that the Dallas views Pickens as the critical part of the offense moving forward, and many analysts believe he could become one of the Prescott's favorite deep threat targets during upcoming season. So George Pickens brings explosiveness to a vertical passing game, and his ability to strengthen defenses could open up even more opportunities and length of the lamp. Tight ends and running back in the Cowboys' offensive system. NFL analysts are already discussing the possibilities that Dallas may have one of the strongest receiving corps in the football. If both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens perform at the highest level together, offensive coaches are reportedly focusing heavily on improving the team downfield passing attack, play action execution, and red zone scoring efficiency. The Cowboys want to become more unpredictable offensively and create mismatches against opposing secondaries every single week. The Cowboys coaching staff also appear committed to improving the running game, which has been inconsistent at the time over the last few seasons. The Dallas Cowboys understand that the balanced offensive scheme is essential for the playoff football and establishing a reliable ground attack that would reduce pressure on a Prescott while also controlling a tempo of a game. Coaches are emphasizing offensive line chemistry, run blocking, and situational football throughout off-season preparations and training activities. On the defensive side of the football, the Cowboys are going through what many insiders are calling defensive reset. So Dallas used the 2026 NFL Draft to strengthen a multiple defensive positions, especially in areas involving a pass rusher, a depth, a linebacker, and a speed and defensive versatility. And the organization believes that improving the front seven will help the team to compete against a elite offenses throughout the NFL. One player receiving a significant attention this offseason is a linebacker DeMarvion Overshawn. Coaches and team executives have spoken positively about his development, athleticism, and leadership potential. Overshawn has reportedly approached the offseason with a tremendous focus, especially knowing that this period could be extremely important for a long-term future with the franchise. Many Cowboys fans believe he could become one of the emotional leaders of the defense during 2026 season. And the Cowboys defense is still expected to rely heavily on speed, aggressive, and creating turnovers. Dallas wants to generate consistent pressure on opposing a quarterback while forcing mistakes throughout aggressive defensive play calling. Defensive coordinators are reportedly focusing on improving third down efficiency, tackling discipline, and red zone defense after some inconsistent performances in a key moments last season. Dallas has also continued adding a veteran depth throughout free agencies. One notable addition is veteran wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who signed with the Cowboys to provide additional speed and experience to an offense. His presence creates more competition in training camp and gives the Cowboys another potential field-stretching option. The front office believes a veteran depth could become extremely important over the course of the long NFL season filled with injuries and roster adjustment. The Cowboys front office has also spent a considerable time managing the salary cap situation. Several contracts were restructured in order to create a financial flexibility for the future moves in the Dallas Cowboys. So the Dallas understand that the maintaining competitive roster in today's NFL require careful cap management, especially when a multiple star players are involved in signing of a new contract. So the organization appears willing to remain aggressive financially if it believes the current roster has legitimate championship potential. And another major area of focus for the Dallas Cowboys is a team culture and mental toughness. Coaches have repeatedly discussed the importance of accountability, discipline, leadership, and finishing games under the pressure. For years, critics have questioned whether the Dallas could handle the intensity of play football against a nearly opponent. As a result, much of the off-season messaging from inside of the organization has centered around improving execution in a critical moments and developing a stronger playoff mentality. Training camp expectations are already extremely high. Cowboys fans are eager to see how quickly the new offensive pieces develop chemistry and together, and whether the younger defensive players from the draft can contribute immediately. Internal competition at several roster spots is expected to be intense, which coaches believes will ultimately strengthen the entire team heading into a regular season. There is also growing excitement surrounding the Cowboys' schedule and the potential playoff positioning in the NFL, so the conference remains highly competitive with several powerhouse franchises expected to contend for a postseason success. However, the Dallas believes it has enough talent to compete with anybody if the roster stays healthy and performs consistently throughout the year. So many NFL analysts believe this season could define the future direction of the Cowboys franchise and a deep playoff run, which would strengthen a confidence in the current roster construction and coaching approach. And also, the another disappointing postseason exit, however, could create enormous pressure throughout the organization and potentially lead to major changes in a future season. Despite the pressure, optimism remains extremely high around the Cowboys organization. The team possesses star power, offensive explosiveness, defensive speed, veteran leadership, and young talent capable of making an impact immediately in the NFL, especially in the Dallas Cowboys way. From aggressive trades to targeting key positions, everything we are seeing right now shows a front office that is serious about getting back to the top. And that's exactly what we are going to break down today in the Dallas Cowboy. So we are going to go through every major move, every key picks, and what it all means for the future of the Dallas Cowboy and the owner of the Dallas Cowboy, Jerry Jones. Are they building a championship defense? Are they making the right decision in the Dallas? And the most important, are the Cowboys finally ready to compete again at the highest level? So sit back, relax, and stay locked in because this is Cowboy Insiders, and today we are diving deep into the Dallas Cowboy 2026 NFL Draft Journal. The 2026 NFL Draft has officially kicked a night, and from the very first moments, it became clear that this year's events would be defining turning points for the several franchises. Among the teams drawing the most attention early on were the Dallas Cowboy franchise under intense pressure to bounce back after disappointing 2025 season. With expectations high and fans demanding change, Dallas entered the draft with a clear sense of urgency and strategy that quickly began to unfold in dramatic fashion. Coming off 7-9-1 record, the Cowboys knew that standing still was not an option. The front office, led by the owner Jerry Jones, had already hinted in the off-season that significant roster adjustments were coming. But no one could have predicted just how aggressive and focused the approach would be once the draft began. Rather than playing it safe, the Dallas made broad moves that signaled a complete commitment to reshaping the identity of the team. Particularly on the defensive side of the ball, the first major moments for the Cowboys come early in the first round. Not content with the original draft position, the Dallas executed a strategic trade to move up the board, targeting one of the most highly regarded defensive prospects in entire class, Caleb Downs. Widely considered, Caleb Downs as the one of the smartest and most versatile safeties available. Caleb Downs brings innate football intelligence, exceptional awareness, and ability to impact games immediately. His presence in the secondary is expected to address one of the Dallas' biggest weaknesses from last season, where a blown coverage and inconsistent safety play often cost them crucial games. So there is many things that makes Down such as a valuable additional is not just his physical talent, but his leadership and composure. So analysts have consistently described him as a day one difference maker, a player capable of organizing the defense and elevating those around him. For the Cowboys defense that struggled with consistency, his arrival could mark the beginning of a new era to build a discipline and execution. However, the Dallas was far from finished. Later in the first round, the Cowboys once again made headlines by maneuvering their ways into another favorable position to select Malachis Lawrence. These picks further emphasized their defensive overhaul, as Lawrence is widely known for his explosiveness off the edge and his ability to disrupt opposing quarterback. During his college career, he built reputations as a relentless pass rusher, combining speed, power, and techniques to consistently pressure offenses. The addition of Lawrence addresses another critical issues from previous season. While Dallas has flashes of strong defensive line play, they lacked the consistent pass rusher needed to compete with the league's top offenses. By bringing in Preyline Lawrence and and Cowboys are clearly aiming to increase their ability to control games at the line of scrimmage, forcing a quarterback into mistakes and creating more turnover opportunities. As the draft continued into a later rounds, Dallas maintained its focus on building a depth and long-term potential. In the third round, they selected a Jason Balham, a versatile defender capable of playing a multiple role. Balham is considered as a high upside prospect known for his athleticism and flexibility. While he may not be as polished as the first round picks, and his ability to adapt and develop within the system make him an intriguing addition to the roster. This selection highlights an important aspect of the Cowboys draft philosophy this year. While they are clearly targeting immediate impact players, they are also investing in the future. Birmingham represents the kind of player who with the right coaching and development could become a key contributor in the years to come. So it is a balanced approach that suggests Dallas is not just thinking about the upcoming season, but about building a sustained success. So another significant element of the Cowboys' draft strategy has been their willingness to make a bold trades in addition to moving up in the draft order. The team has also been active in reshaping its roster through a players transaction. So these moves indicate front office that is full committed to transformation even if it means making a difficult decision in the short term. The message is clear and the mediocrity in no longer acceptable in the Dallas. From a broader perspective, the early stages of the NFL draft have revealed so this shift is particularly interesting given the team's historical emphasis on offensive firepower. It suggests a philosophical change, one that recognizes the importance of the balance and the ability to win a game through a defense. For the fans, this draft brings a renewed sense of the hope and excitement. The combination of innate talent, strategic planning, and aggressive decisions making has created the impression that the Cowboys are finally taking the necessary steps to return to championship contention. Of course, as with any draft, the true impact of these selections will only be known over time. Prospects must develop, adapt to the professional levels, and prove themselves on the field. Still, the early signs are promising by targeting a high-impact defensive players and demonstrating willingness to take calculated risks. Dallas has positioned itself as one of the most integrating teams to watch moving forward. So if there's a moves translate into improved performance, the 2026 NFL draft could be remembered as the moment when the Cowboys began their resurgence. As the draft continue over the coming days, all eyes will remain on the Dallas to see how they build on this strong start. This is the time to speak your mind, so go on down in the comment section and let your voice be heard. We want the really opinion, really reaction, and really decisions from our true Cowboys fans. Because of at the end of the day, this is more just a team. This is a community. This is a person, and this is what we bring us all together. So, alright, with all that being said, get ready because today update I packed with important information interesting development, and something you definitely do not want to miss. So let's dive straight into Dallas Cowboy update and see exactly what is going on with an American team, Dallas Cowboy. So the Dallas Cowboys are once again at the center of attention as they aggressively look to reshape their roster with a new move of talent ahead of 2026 season. With expectations rising and pressure building around owner Jerry Jones, the front office is exploring a multiple avenues to bring in fresh players who can immediately contribute and elevate the teams back into a serious Super Bowl contention. One of the most talked about names linked to a Dallas Cowboy is Ashton Gentry. He is a dynamic running back out of Boise State, known for his explosiveness, vision, and ability to break tackles. Agenti has quickly climbed draft board and is viewed as a potential game changer in the Cowboys' backfield. Coming from a Boise State Broncos football, he brings a versatile skills set that could completely the current offensive structure led by a quarterback Dak Prescott. Another key prospect the Cowboys are heavily scouting is Xavier Wolf from a Texas Longhorns football. Wolf is a widely recognized for his innate speed and deep threat ability, making him an ideal candidate to strengthen a defense and open up opportunities for the rest of the offense. Pairing him with established playmaker could significantly improve the Cowboys' passing attack. Defensively, the Cowboys are showing a strong interest in Ajersa Newton, a powerful interior defensive lineman from the from the Illinois Fighting Illini football. Newton's ability to disrupt the line of scrimmage and apply pressure up the middle makes him a valuable asset for defense that already features stars like Micah Parsons. His addition could make a defensive front even more dominant in NFL. So in the secondary, the Cowboys are evaluating a Cooper Dejan from Joe Hawkins football. Dejan is known for his versatility, capable of playing a cornerback and safety at the high level. His football IQ and playmaking ability have made him one of the most intriguing defensive prospects in upcoming draft. On the offensive line, protecting a Dak Prescott remains a top priority, and Cowboys have their eyes on Tellis Fuaga from Oregon State Beavers. Fuaga's physicality and consistency in pass protection could help to solidify the offense line, an area that has faced inconsistency in a recent season. So the Cowboys are also exploring options at linebacker, including Adrian Cooper from a Texas A&M Aggies football. Cooper brings a speed, tackling ability, and sideline to a sideline range, making him a strong candidate to enhance the team's defensive depth. As the offensive unfolds, it is clear that the Dallas Cowboys are not standing still, but the organization is carefully evaluating talent from across the college football, targeting players who do not only possesses athlete ability but also the mindset and the discipline required to succeed at the professional level. With the leadership of Jerry Jones and the coaching staff, the Cowboys are determined to build a roster capable of competing with the very best in the NFL. So if this potential signing become reality, the Cowboys could be entering a new era defined by a youth, speed and explosive playmaking on both sides of the ball. So the fans are eagerly watching every move, hoping that this new class of players will finally bring championship glory back to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys found themselves at a crucial turning point as 2026 of season continues to unfold. With the growing pressure from the fans, analysts, and even within the organization itself to finally translate talent into postseason success. For years, the Cowboys have been one of the most talked about the teams in the NFL, yet their inability to reach the Super Bowl has remained a constant source of frustration. Now, under the leadership of the owner Jerry Jones, the franchise is making a bold and calculated moves aimed at changing that narrative once and for all. At the center of everything remains a quarterback, Dak Prescott, whose future continues to be one of the most closely watched storylines in Dallas. Prescott has shown flashes of unerring performances, consistency, putting up a strong number during the regular season, but the questions still linger about his ability to lead the team deep into a playoff. Despite the criticism, the Cowboys organization continues to express confidence in him as their franchise leader, and there is growing belief that with a large supporting crust, so a Prescott can finally break through. One of the biggest area of focus for the Dallas Cowboy front office have been the offensive side of the ball. After evaluating last season, it became clear that while the team has weapons, there is still a need for a more explosiveness and consistency. The emergence of a CeeDee Lamb as a true number one receiver has been a major positive as he continues to develop into one of the number and receiver has been a major positive as he continues to develop into one of the league most dangerous playmakers. However, the team is actively exploring ways to add another dynamic receiver to complement him and create a more balanced and unpredictable offense. The running game has also been under review, especially after changes in a backfield over the past season. So the Cowboys are looking for a more reliable and explosive rushing attacks that can take pressure off Prescott and control the tempo of the games. This has led to increased scouting activity and a serious consideration of a young running back who can bring a speed and versatility to the offense. On the defensive side, the Cowboys remain one of the more talented